Okay guys, today I'm going to tell you about the next project that we're going to do. We are actually going to do an assignment that's completely different from other stuff that we've done in our classroom. This assignment is something that you can actually take and use one day when you're out of high school and you're out in the real world. So what you guys are going to be asked to do is I'm going to ask you to either work by yourself, with a partner, or with a group of 3, okay? And you guys are going to have to design a small business. And when I say small business, I don't mean something that, oh, I've always wanted to design a robot to do blah, 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 something that's not realistic. This has to be something that you can actually do in your community with your friends, something that you can, a service that you can do or a product that you can sell, okay? So with this small business, there's 3 things that I'm going to ask you to do. The first thing is you're going to be creating an advertisement. The second is you're going to create a business plan. And the third is you've got to formulate a sales pitch that you have to have memorized and be ready to share in front of a team of adults. When I assess this unit, the first thing that I assess is their business proposal. I got to make sure that they're able to follow a format that's different than writing a formal essay, because many of them think writing is essay. That's it. So when I'm asking them to do a business proposal, it's a lot different format. So I need to see that they're able to follow the format, that they're able to do the market research that's required, and that they're able to really think out a plan. So that's the first thing that I look at, and I grade them on that. The second time they're assessed is they're assessed on their ability to analyze an advertisement and to look at Pathos, Ethos, logos, different persuasive strategies, to look at the target audience, the colors used, and I want them to be able to look at an ad and understand why it's persuasive, and so we assess on that. Another assessment that we do is the Great Shake Day, where they're shaking hands. The scores that the adults give them are actual scores that will be part of their grades. So they're told you've got to improve between this adult and this adult and this adult. So you need to be able to have high scores in your professionalism. And then finally, each aspect of this business project is assessed. So the business plan will be assessed on a rubric, where I have basically outlined what needs to happen in each portion of the plan. And the student will basically, on the rubric, I'm looking, did you do it or did you not do it? On a scale of 1 to 3. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. Is there anyone in here that's using one of these right now? Can I see it? Can you hold it up for everyone to see? You guys see Georgia Grace's pen? Okay, Georgia Grace is actually someone who has benefited from a small business. This is a vase filled with pins, and you guys can see it just has a flower at the top and it's wrapped with floral tape, right? This is actually a small business that someone had a few years ago, and what they did is they purchased these pins, they wrapped the pins, they took flowers, and they were able to cut off the stems and then wrap the flowers with this floral tape, and they put it in a vase. Can you guys see how this might meet a need at school? What need might this meet here at school? Why did you borrow a flower pin today?
So no one can, so if someone were to take it, they would not, they couldn't take it back.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you have another pen with you?
No.
So why'd you need this one?
I didn't have it.
You didn't have one, right? Am I going to get that back from you?
Yes.
How do I know I'm going to get that pen back from you?
Because it's unique.
Yeah, you're not going to walk out with a flower because someone's going to be like, what is that in your hand, right? How many guys in here are going to walk out with my flower pen because it looks pretty on them? None of you, okay? So this is a great business idea. This actually meets a need for who in this building? Who would probably want to buy a set of these flower pins? Who is someone that would need some pins that don't walk away and leave the classroom but stay in here? Who would buy this?
Teachers.
Yeah, teachers, right? So what do you think it would cost to actually make one of these? What's your guess? I mean, think about a flower, a pin, and floral tape. $5 to $10? You want me to tell you what it really would cost? Maybe about $1.50. When you look at all the supplies and you divide it up for a pen, probably less. Maybe more like 50 cents. How much could you sell a pen like this? $2 to $3 a pen, right? What if you did a vase full? What would you sell it for? 20. I heard 20. I like that, right? If I sold a vase of this for 20 bucks, am I making some cash if I'm the business owner of this flower pen business? Yeah. How many of you guys would like to make cash like that? I should see every hand up because everybody wants to make some cash, right? So that's what I'm giving you the opportunity to do. I did some research and found out about some young entrepreneurs that exist. And I found several examples of some kids who started a business when they were in middle school. We watched videos where they kind of told their story, and we talked a lot about, you know, how is it that these people were able to think of something in middle school and turn it into a business. They have to look at other ads to kind of help guide them as they create their own, but they have to be able to incorporate what they see in real advertisements to make theirs. So they have to look at the colors, they have to look at the target audience, they have to be able to create an ad that addresses what the target audience will be looking for and what would persuade them.
My name is Carter Kostler. I'm from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and my company is the Define Bottle.
So we just watched this video where a guy who was actually your age invented this thing called the Define Bottle. How many of you were kind of impressed by what you saw? Was that pretty neat? Yeah. So in this video, and first of all, this video was an example of exactly what I want you to do when it's your turn to come up and do your sales pitch with the, remember I told you that we're going to have a panel and you've got to be able to ask them for the $50. That's exactly what I want you to do, is what you saw the Define Bottle guy do. So in that, he was able to touch on Pathos, Ethos, and Logos. Do you guys remember when we talked about that? Who remembers what Pathos is? Yeah, Jack.
Focusing on making others have a strong emotion.
Right, so it's kind of like a, you're focusing on the emotion. Do you guys know a word that kind of sounds very similar to pathos? Can you think of another word that has that pathos thing? Yeah, Sarah.
Pathetic.
Pathetic, right? How many of you guys have ever been pathetic? You're tired, you're mopey, you're very pathetic. Okay, so the pathos and pathetic, kind of think, when you are looking at pathos, it's making you feel that emotion, okay? So just like when you're extra tired, your emotions are really strong, right? You're feeling more angry, you're feeling more sad, or whatever that emotion is. So pathos is touching on the emotion. Did you guys see any way that he touched on an emotion in this video when he was demonstrating his bottle and talking to the different sharks? Did he try to make them feel a certain emotion? Yeah? Yeah, Isabella.
It's like fearful.
How did he try to show fear?
It would be like if you drank so much soda, you would gain weight. So drinking a Define Bottle would be more healthy.
Yeah. Did you guys catch what he said about drinking soda? What did he say about drinking soda? That was one of the first things that he said. Do you remember what he said? Or kind of along the lines of what he said, Camille?
Like an average person has 1 soda a day.
Yeah, and remember, he started with a statement like that. The average person has about 1 soda a day. So if he's trying to get you to think, all right, how many sodas do I have a day? He's trying to make you think, man, what is going to happen if I keep having these sodas? He wants you to be afraid. He wants you to say, listen, you have a fear. Your fear is getting overweight. I've got a solution. Do you guys catch that? Good. What about Ethos? Do you guys remember what Ethos is? Yeah.
It's trying to build up trust with whoever's buying your product.
Absolutely. Do any of you know another word that ethos sounds a lot alike? Like that ETH. Ethos. Aaron.
Ethnic.
Ethnic, that is one. Can you think of another one? Can you guys think of another? So ethnic has the ETH. What about another one? Yeah.
Ethics.
Ethics. Good. So do you guys know what ethics or being ethical means? No? What's your guess? If you're saying that he made a very ethical decision, he has good ethics, what are they saying about that person? Yeah.
Like being like efficient, kind of.
Okay, that's on the right track. Efficient is good. I've heard ethics when they say something like, this is an ethical company. This is an ethical company. What does that mean if a company is ethical? Yeah.
Reliable.
Reliable, right? What else does a reliable company do? You can trust a reliable company, right? Why can you trust them? Yeah.
Experience.
They may have experience. Sometimes it's that they do things the right way, right? You know that they have that integrity. So he's trying to show with the ethos, he definitely included ethos in his clip. What are some things that he said, what are some things that he did to show that he's trustworthy, that you can rely on him, right? That what he is saying is true, kind of what you were saying earlier. What are some things that he did to kind of demonstrate that?
Yeah, he said like how much money he spent and like how much he sold.
Mm-hmm. So the fact that he's actually making sales, that's something that you guys can take into your sales pitch. If you actually go out and try to sell your product, or you actually go out, and let's say you have something like a lawn service, and you go out and actually cut some lawns, and you're able to say, listen, I've cut this many lawns, and I had great customer reviews. I talked to my customers afterward, and they said that they really appreciated it. Or I was able to sell this much of my product, and I made this much money when I was doing some market research out in my neighborhood, right? That's a great way to show that you can trust me because people are actually buying this product. You can actually trust that I'll use your money wisely. I encourage them to do some research and to find out what other products similar to theirs are costing out in the real world, and to look and see what are some other services that people are currently doing and what is the cost of that. Then they have to do market research where they have to figure out how their product or service meets a need. Camille mentioned something earlier. I don't know if you guys remember. She mentioned something that would fall under logos. And we talked about this when we were talking about Pathos, on how he made you kind of feel like this product would help you with your fear of being overweight. Do you guys remember what Camille said? Yeah.
An average person drinks 1 soda a day.
Yes. And what do we call that? The average person drinks 1 soda a day. So they're taking numbers there. Which one of those on your list would that be? Logos. It would be logos, but which one of the logos examples? So logos focuses on those 2 things. What are the 2 things? Facts and numbers, statistics. So what would that information be? Yeah, it would be a statistic, right? So what's a way that you could do something like that with your product? You may not be able to actually hire a group that does statistics for a living and find out how many people would actually buy your product, but what's something that you can do? To go out, yeah.
Go out and do a survey and see what people think.
And based on those survey results, when you do your sales pitch, you could say, hey, listen, out of this many people interviewed, this % of them actually said that they would buy this product if it existed, or they would use this service if it existed. That's a great way to incorporate logos and ethos. We also do an activity where the students have to practice being professional and being confident in front of an adult. So it's a whole day of handshaking, looking in the eye, being able to answer questions without being nervous or fumbling over your words.
So what do you do for a living?
I own an insurance agency here locally. So we do auto, home, and life insurance for families and small businesses and stuff like that.
How do you advertise your business?
Word of mouth is really the biggest thing for me. Referrals. I've had billboards in the past. I do commercials. I've got a website, social media, really a little bit of everything. Because my clientele's not specific, so really anybody that owns a car or owns a house or has kids or debt or anything like that, they're potential customers for me. So I don't really target any specific niche or anything like that.
What does professional mean to you?
To most people, it means like suit and tie and all that kind of stuff. It's really more of just a mentality and kind of how you treat people. Probably not going to use a lot of slang words, and it's more about how you present yourself. Firefighters, I think of them as they're professionals at what they do, and you'll rarely catch them in a suit and tie. If they're in their turnout gear, they're a professional to me. So just really kind of how you present yourself, the knowledge that you have of the situation, and it's more of a mindset than an actual appearance.
The way that I prepare the business leaders, business owners to work with the students is, first of all, there's a series of emails that goes to them in which I'm explaining what's going to happen. I actually attach potential questions that the students might ask so that they're well aware before they get to my room.
And you have apple to peach.
Yes, I created this business and came up with the name because I was from New York, being an apple. I came to Georgia to be a peach, and I make those. And when you're running out the door, us girls, and you think your hair is not holding up, so you grab a hair tie, but it looks nasty and all. So I put a bow on it, so it looks like a bracelet, and when you can put it in your hair, it looks good too.
Look at that. 2 for 1, man. What kind of business you got going on?
Me and my friends started a lawn care service called WCK Lawn Service.
Right.
Because we saw a bunch of people in our neighborhood were getting charged insane prices for not that much work. So we had the idea to start a lawn care service that would give the same amount of quality but for a lower price.
I like it. How many clients you got?
We've mowed a few lawns in the past since we've been doing this project, and we've gotten great reviews from each of those people. They say we have good work diligence, ethics, and we do a great job overall.
Cool. So are you trying to get like repeat customers where they'll sign like not really a contract, you can't really do that in landscape, but to where you just, hey, I'll cut it every 2 weeks for $20 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So how many of those do you have?
I think we have about 3 right now.
3 of those? That'll work, man. Hey, it's money throughout the summer. That's one less customer you don't have to sell to, man. That's awesome. And so what's your kind of gross revenue right now?
I don't follow.
Like how much total money have you made so far?
I think we've made about $110.
Having adults involved in the unit really increases students' motivation to do very well, because if it's just me, they're used to my expectations. But when I tell them that I'm bringing in business owners from the community, there's just something about that thought that gets the students to kind of straighten up and really feel like this is the real deal, especially when we talk about that this is a transferable skill. The second part of the adult involvement is something called the Great Shake. So what happens to prepare for this is I take my students and I teach them how to have eye contact, how to be confident, how to smile when they're talking, how to fake it if they don't feel like they're feeling brave enough to talk, and how to have a firm handshake. This activity addresses the standards that have to do with listening and speaking, because the standards state that a student not only has to be able to have a conversation, but they have to be able to hear what the person says to them and respond back. So when the students are doing their pitch, they're given 2 minutes, and right before the 2 minutes starts, they have to go to each person who's evaluating them, introduce themselves, and give a firm handshake, because they're being evaluated on professionalism, and that's part of that score. Once they do that, I hit the timer and I say, your 2 minutes has started, and the student immediately has to go into saying who they are and saying what their product is.
Michelle Garcia, nice to meet you. Michelle Garcia, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Michelle Garcia, nice to meet you. Michelle Garcia. Michelle Garcia, nice to meet you. Michelle Garcia, nice to meet you.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Hello, my name is Michelle Garcia Delgado, the creator of Best Friends, and I'm looking for $50 as startup seed money. One day I went shopping and I saw that the accessories in the stores were too expensive, or in other words, overpriced. It then came to my concern that I could create some new accessories at an affordable price with the same amazing look. That was when I created Best Friends. Best Friends are inexpensive accessories made out of spoons that will make you look good while saving your money. There are a variety of accessories like necklaces, bows, and headbands. I will now give you some accessories so you can look at it.
Thank you. Michelle, what do you plan on doing with the $50?
Oh, if for the $50, I'd buy a foldable table so I could keep on selling my product at local farmers markets.
Okay.
I would also buy more supplies so I could keep on making the accessories. And if I have any money left, I'd buy business cards so I could get more customers.
Okay.
Best Friends has an Instagram, Facebook, and email account. The Instagram and Facebook page are so that the customers know what is on sale. The email account is so that the customers can tell me what they want to buy and when they want it.
Michelle, how'd you come up with the idea to use spoons?
Well, we have a lot of spoons in our house, so I kind of thought it would be neat.
What are some of your price points for these products?
The necklaces cost $20 and the bows and the headbands cost $15 each.
How much does it cost you to make one of these?
About like around $5.
Now, are you buying the spoons new, or are you getting them from a recycled area? Or?
I'm buying them new.
Okay.
Can you take custom orders if somebody wants certain kinds or
Yeah.
colors?
Good job.
want to hear their mission statement. I want to hear how this product meets a need. I want to hear how they found out it meets that need. I specifically want to hear how they're going to use the $50 if they were to win it, because they're trying to ask these adults for that seed money. So I need to hear their plan for using that money. They are also evaluated on how well they can respond to the questions at the end of the pitch, because part of that 2 minutes involves the adults asking questions and the kids have to be able to respond on the spot.
Hi, I'm Georgia Grace Nichols. Nice to meet you. I'm Georgia Grace Nichols. Nice to meet you. Hi, I'm Georgia Grace Nichols. Nice to meet you.
2 minutes.
Hi, I'm Sadie Ferreira.
And I'm Georgia Grace Nichols.
And we have created a service called Kitty Boot Camp. Nowadays, parents are always wanting their children to stay off technology and enjoy the bright outdoors.
We both have had a passion for this because we both have younger siblings and we know what they enjoy. What we are going to do in our service is go to a local neighborhood and take them to an activities field where we will provide sports including football, soccer, or any other outdoor activities for ages 4 to 12.
To keep the children safe, we have provided a first aid kit and the parents will be contacted immediately if anything were to happen. We understand that our competition is rough, but with our reasonable prices, both parents and children will enjoy. Our prices are $4 and each activity is an hour long.
If we were to win the $50, we'd put that towards equipment that we would provide for the children and healthy snacks which would teach the children the benefits of a healthy lifestyle.
Just another way to keep America fit for the future.
All right, thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, what are the hours that you're going to be providing this service?
Well, we do it Saturday mornings and Wednesday afternoons.
How much will you charge per student?
$4 an hour.
Okay.
How have you tried to market it so far?
Well, we have gone out and get to the neighbors and we've given them ads and we have an email and Instagram. So. Anything else?
Are there any discounts for additional siblings?
Yes, if you have more than 2 children coming, then it's 20% off. So, yeah.
Would you ever raise your prices?
If it expands to get bigger, then we probably would.
To bring in extra help and stuff. Okay.
Will you guys be doing summer camps?
We haven't really decided yet because we've only done the camp once so far this past weekend, but if it gets bigger, then maybe.
Guys, you did a fantastic job with this business plan. I am so impressed with the work that you've done, and you're going to be able to take so many of these skills in the real world. You're going to be able to design your own business, be able to market it, being able to speak to an adult without being scared, being able to look at them in the eye, give them a firm handshake. That's a skill that's transferable to almost every single job. So this is the type of stuff that I want you guys to remember as you go on to high school next year. At the end of the school day, I know it's been a successful day when I feel like I see my students light up. And not light up just because they're having fun or it was a great class, but because they got something. They got something that they feel is going to be useful to them in the long run. Maybe they had a light bulb moment in the classroom. But when I see kids at the end of my school day saying, oh my gosh, class is already over, because they're so engaged with what they're doing, I feel like it's been a success.